This is a dedication to Dr. Toyan Pittman in terms of her being a life coach and assisting me when I was at, it was Mark Mitsubishi and then it became Mark Mazda, where I was in my, how can I say, apprenticeship of truly learning car sales in Tucson, Arizona, and what that took for me to be able to do that. And then in a short period of time, with the strong assistance of my brother-in-law, Big C, I was able to get it done. But I really didn't understand um, how the situation was really set up here. And I had to come here to really find out some things about myself. So this video is, again, it is a dedication to Dr. Toyan Pittman, an outstanding individual, a therapist who really helped me in terms of um, what I needed for me to take it to the next level. Because sometimes people can see things in you that you don't see in yourself, and you don't even know that you are shortchanging yourself, because at the end of the day, it's really all about uh, being the best person that you can be in reference to how God gave you your talents, and sometimes what you got to go through to be able to be taken to the next level. And then what you find out is the road that you think you're supposed to be going, that's not the most direct route for you to learn what you need to learn. So this morning, I got up this morning and I was thinking about my younger sister, Letitia. And I said to myself, if things have been in reverse and things worked the way that we hoped that they would have worked, things would have been different. But obviously, that wasn't the situation that we were supposed to be dealing with. So if I could have turned that around in any way that I can, I definitely would have done that. But what I'm saying is that as a direct result today, it took me to the next level. So what I did was I got in touch with some of my colleagues on the East Coast, and I had ran by them this specific business plan in terms of the levels that we can take it to. And they are not just master teachers; they are triple master teachers. In other words, they make master teachers, and they really plugged in and they really tight. One's getting ready to retire the end of this year, so that's like right around the corner in terms of what we have in terms of taking things to the next level. So what I really like about this video, right, is that the video will precede what's going on through the power of my thought. So I just wanted to share with y'all who are, how can I say, very, very supportive, because you're supportive in your own way. Because at the end of the day, what doesn't support me, I ignore it. I know that it's not there because it's delusional. Here's why. Because the only thing that will survive is good. And this is what we know, right? See, the reason why we know that the world is not ran by evil, because evil can't exist without good, but there's a reason for the duality. But what we do know is this: if evil ran the world, it would be chaos and there would be no more world. So that's the reason why you got to constantly focus on the good. So I'm already doing that already, but I just wanted to share with y'all where I'm at right now. I got this piece from a pretty nice place, and I wanted to show you where my mental state is right now. Plus, this is good for me to see later myself too. So that's my mental state. You see, I had to learn the hard way to give my problems, my issues to God, which allows for me to focus entirely upon Him. Just like I had spoken about the other day about the widow's son and the three ruffians and the grand architect, in terms of the apprentice, the craftsman and the master mason, and what that truly is all about. You see what I'm saying? And the way that was brought to me, and now I'm living it, is that you have an earthly father, right? And then that earthly father get out the way of whatever that's going on and still be here. But then you really find out that your true father is the supreme being. Then you find out there's another entity that is masquerading as if it's the real deal, and it's called the creator God. But so you got to do your own research. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm always in the archives, especially where I'm at right now, right? Because even in my own life, I got to put up or shut up. I either got to know what I know, or I don't know nothing. You see what I'm saying? So I'm underneath what I call, instead of the gun, I call it the sun. That's how beautiful it is here. Looking at these palm trees, thinking about owning property 4 miles one way, 4 miles the other way, 4 miles down, and 4 miles across. The whole 4 miles. What can you do with that in terms of religious incorporation? Then you're dependent on God, right? So look, at the end of the day, God owns and controls everything. If you know the keys and you know the law, and so physical law and spiritual law are supposed to be in alignment, not always, because in physical law you got a man-made, right? So man don't know everything, but they try to keep it as high as possible. I would give some examples, but I'm sure that's unnecessary. But here's what I'm saying: when you know spiritual law, that changes things, because the spiritual law always trump physical law when you know what you're doing. And so I asked somebody the other day, right? I was talking to this one lady, and she's supposed to be a messianic Jew, right? So we talking, she's in the real estate, the whole nine. And so she was giving me these numbers. So I was listening to what she was saying. She's from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, New York, what I'm saying, Dismas Avenue. Okay. What I'm saying, over by the the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. What I'm saying, for people who know what I'm talking about, over by Ocean Parkway, 287, Fort Hamilton is right around the corner, around there. My point is this here, right? I asked her a question, and my question to her was, what came first? A number or the thought? Or flip it, which came first, the thought or the number? And she couldn't understand what I was talking about, right? Check it out, right? Before you can even visualize, even before you can make your mouth go whatever the number is, you got to think it first. It's like a no-brainer, right? For people who's really on point, right? What I'm saying? What I'm learning out here is this here, right? Like, I'm in the perfect place to come up from within. What I'm saying? Here I am thousands of miles away, and I'm talking to people on the East Coast, and they like, yeah, we feel you. You know what I'm saying? So this is another aspect. This right here this is rose, it's like a quartz. And then I got another piece. This joint is really huge, right? Okay. That's quartz crystal. And then I want to speak about this very, how can I say, it could be a figure that would be considered, what do you call that, heresy to those who are locked in a box. But see, this is how the supreme being is working in my life, right? I'm like this: wherever the science sends me to, the shape of it means nothing, because I'm in the pursuit of the formless, the shapeless, right? It's so deep it don't even got a name for it. And this is all I study, right? So the quartz crystals relates to the fact that the brain is a transmitter and a receiver. And so in our auric bodies, we have what's called vibrations. We got 7 sheaths, right? So at the end of the day, what makes your signal more powerful is things like your faith, your conviction, and your thought, and your desire, and how much you focus upon what you want. And it's an exact science. You know what I'm saying? Like I woke up this morning with tears rolling out of my eyes, right? Because I knew that I had connected. It's a direct experience thing. You can't really explain it to somebody else, right? And so we used to have a certain saying back in the day, it say, test the spirit. So the way that you know it's real is that when you test it, you start trembling. But it don't be like the fear trembling. It be like you know that you're in a space of something powerful, but you feel this overwhelming love. And then the feelings inside start dropping away that's holding your vibration up. And then you find out that you're on a certain spiritual path. So today, what I found out that my videos is really all about, and I might have verbalized this before, but it came a little bit clearer today because I was very lucid and I am reprogramming myself as we speak. And that is my videos are based on immortality and wealth. I didn't say riches, I said wealth, because in wealth you have riches. And so, based on my studies, I'm beginning to learn certain things, especially if you ever, for you all who are very what you call that? Not exactly just hard headed, but you don't want to do your own research. You need to research this entity called Hermes Trismegistus, thrice great, because the information that I'm aligning myself right now with, I'm sorry, the information that I'm aligning myself right now, it is no doubt. You know what I'm saying? And I got a plan. You know what I mean? And then I'm finding out the plan ain't even my plan. Because look, when you really start connecting, and I already know what my issue is. My issue is that I have to reprogram myself. Is reprogramming is something else. But most importantly, it is not just the thought diet, but it's a way how you eradicate whatever that you had to go through, and it's gone. Like you ain't even got to deal with that no more. You know what I mean? So I feel really, really good about that, about where I'm at right now and what the vision is. And I was studying something recently, um, in terms of the parts of the Bible that were not added to, with is a certain term that they say it's supposed to be, what you call that, it's supposed to be inauthentic, yeah, inauthenticated or whatever. But my point is this here, right? When you got certain gospels of Mary and Magdalene, of Timothy, of uh information that wasn't added in, but I'm gonna tell you where I'm at right now. I happen to study something, not just Gnosticism, not necessarily Christian Gnosticism, but just Gnosticism, period, meaning the pursuit of knowledge. So what you find out in there is that there's two major pieces that's running the world. So when you're looking at it, you have what's called spiritual discernment, and you know which one it is, right? So, my whole situation is I look at it like this. Based on my studies, it only take one. Now my spiritual theory is this. Because I wasn't there, so I'm just speaking just on my faith. When the Jesus of Nazareth came to the earth plane as both God and man, he knew everything, everywhere, at any time. So he knew exactly what he was doing. So some data that I studied said that he asked Judas Iscariot to what do you call that? Tell on him. So this is some information that I've never been exposed to in terms of how deep did this thing go. But you may say, well, why is this so important? Because I don't know exactly what that reason is, but I do know this. I was also reading about the 13 crucified Christ before Jesus Christ. So I was like, whoa, what's up with that, right? So I studied that, studied everything I could, right? So this lady came up with this this date dealing with astronomy and the stars, and she says that Jesus of Nazareth was born on September 11th, not uh December 25th. She got all this data to back it up and all that, right? So I said, okay, all right. So what does that mean? Well, my my theory is this: when Jesus hung on the tree and he said it's finished, he went into everybody all at once. So when they say he's coming by some horses, that's not how it's going down. It ain't going down like that. Because look, thought don't need no horses. Let me say that again. I said thought, which is the original aspect of all atoms and everything, it don't need no horses. Through thought transference, it's everywhere, anytime, all the time at once. Yeah, I know. Well, bottom line is this: I'm gonna prove it just dealing with my situation. You know what I mean? Because I have a timetable. You know what I mean? I got a purpose now. I mean, a purpose that I really know what the purpose is. You know what I mean? I know how to uh, do certain things and make that demonstration happen to create the right team. Because when I'm learning, what I'm learning, going through all the stuff that I've been going through, you got to have a winning team. That team got to be on point. Can't be no big eyes, little U's, no petty egos, none of that. Y'all got a mission. You know what I mean? And then if you got God as your backup, God gonna tell you everything you need to know beforehand. So this is how we rolling, right? Who's in charge? God or man? Come on, we already know the answer. God's in charge. It's not a whole lot to it. You know what I'm saying? So without really telling you literally what I'm going to do, though I was a teacher, a master teacher in my own way, because the way I was laying it down and how I was dealing with my boys, I know there's one class that I had, I know they still feel me now, growing into men, because I wasn't playing with them. I was giving it to them too, boy. Yes, certain days I wouldn't have wanted to be the teacher, and then I would lean back. I wouldn't really mess with them. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be a cool teacher. You know what I'm saying? But I know what it means to be effective. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the students you had to step in and take them to the man level so they really realize they got options and they have decisions to make, life decisions in terms of where their life is going to go, and you can show them things that otherwise they would not know anything about, and then set that example yourself and how you roll. You know what I mean? Because a lot of students, they want to see how you handle yourself in a crazy situation. You know what I mean? So you may be setting an example for 24 brains at once, and then whoever else that they influence. That's when you really understand what time it is. But see, this thing deeper than that, but it's definitely on some multiplication levels. So any of y'all that's watching me can take me for weak, can take me thinking I'm playing, thinking that it's a joke. I mean, it's all good. All I can say is this: I'm not even supposed to even acknowledge my thumbs down, because that's considered air. That's considered how can I say, like energy that needs to be worked at in terms of turning into good. Because I'm talking about is good. You know what I'm saying? But I understand ego. You know what I'm saying? And I really understand it, seriously. I mean, I study it like I got 10 doctorate degrees. So here's the question I be asking myself, just in case it seems like I'm lunching. Where this power coming from? Because most dudes of my age, they be like, yo, I gotta check, man, I ain't got nothing else left. When I feel like brand new, like every day, because I know what time it is, right? And then I know where I gotta go now. I feel like Marco Polo. I feel like I feel like I was Christopher Columbus, just to do an expedition and find out really what's going down. Then I bring it back. You feel me? And then I lay my own thing down. See, because I look at it like this. If God is running my show, I can't lose. I ain't got no homies. I ain't got nobody to call. You know what I'm saying? I got to connect from within. I got to be on point whether I want to be on point or not. You know what I'm saying? So everything is a lot deeper than most people think. And this is part of my mission. All I got to do is do it myself. And somebody going to ask me, yo, what did you do? How'd you do that? See, my thing is free. You see what I'm saying? Because the way I'm getting it, even though I'm putting in man hours, all the rest of this stuff, I really want to be one of the sons. But I'm it already if I just go into acceptance. Man, it's like it ain't really even anything you got to do like physical. It's all mental. Like you just got to know, and then it just start happening. You be like, yo, how'd that happen? It really is like that, right? So my whole demonstration is people have to make up their own mind in terms of what they believe or what they disbelieve or this, that, and the other, right? But I can tell you one thing, listen to this one. When I lost that 77 pints of blood and 21 pints of blood of plasma in Johns Hopkins Hospital in 1984, right, with a fresh haircut, right? Check it out. I didn't want to come back. So my question was, and I asked my friend this, I said, I want to ask you a question. I said, I don't know my purpose. And I'm like, I'm really trying to figure out. She said, you know what? She said, you know what, babe, I'm going to tell you this. She says, you're going to be asking that question 102. I was like, wow. So it made me reflect back on what do I love? What do I love? What would I do for nearly like for nothing? I love to teach. What do I really like? I like the aha moment that you see in the student's eye, including your own, when you be like, yo, I got it. That's like almost worth your paycheck. Or being able to teach a student and they learn something and you make sure they get 100% credit. You be like, yo, you go, this you. And you be doing that at will. You know what I'm saying? You know you got something going on. And if you got your own class and there's other students that don't even belong to your class and they trying to come to your class, you're like, yo, look, you know I can't do that. That's when you know you got something and you don't know what you got. Now here's the whole key. Here's where the team part comes in. I got two other master teachers, and all I got to do is work through them. And they females, so they ain't nothing to play with, and they already locked in. I'm like, okay, we got a plan here. You know what I'm saying? And see, my plan is this, right? I love this part, right? Because it ain't happened yet, but I have already put it on videos, right? I was placed in prison for a second degree manslaughter, 17 years old, gun charge on about 5 or 6 felonies, the whole nine. Didn't know what was going on. Got out of prison, and it wasn't fast, but I became a substitute teacher, this, that, and other. Went back in for a bank robbery, right? Came back out, right? That's a whole different story why I even went back in. You're gonna be like, yo, you had it bad. No, I had it bad I had it like this. I had the right mindset, but what I was looking for wasn't where I was at because God shut it down. He'd be like, yo, no, not him. He ain't getting it. You know what I'm saying? I got a father and son team who is next door to my cell, right? This in the feds, right? Like it was a father and son who was in the same cell, and and The son had life and the father had 22 years for 1,000 bricks of, I think it was like 97.8% pure Peruvian. I think it's called pink flake or whatever it is. Like, was on another level. I'm like, my connect right there. Whoa. God said, nope, not you. Had a couple of demonstrations like that while I was supposed to come up. I thought I was going to come up, be the man. Like, no time. Be like, I got 100,000 in the bank before I even get home. Like, I'm like, yeah, well, it's going down. But no, none of that happened. So I had to go through all that I went through to become a master teacher. How do I know How do I know I'm a master teacher? Listen to this one. I never heard this one. I know how to fail like a master. Bam. Let me say it again for those of y'all in here, and then I'm gonna shut the joint off because I've been on for a minute. How do I know I'm a master teacher? Because I am a master failer. I failed at a masterly level. And God still kept me alive. I'm like, yo, come on, God. I mean, like, what? Like, God, what kind of plan you got for me, man? I'm like, I'm trying to do my best. And I'm getting beat down here, beat down here, beat down, 2, 3, 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what's going on, told you ain't nothing your whole life. And then it locked down into the prompts and the whole nine. And you all messed up inside. You know what I'm saying? You don't trust no psychiatrist, no psychologist. Then you run into two women who are professional. One's a psychiatrist, and the other one is a psychologist, and they're like, yo, look, you got it. But I mean, say, come on, man. I mean, what are you doing? And so for me, that's how I am. That's where I'm at today. Like I'm like, it's going down any day now. I mean, like, what I mean? And I'm ready. Without putting my plan out there, I'm telling you, looking at these videos later, you're going to see a progression of what was going on in reference to my mind and what I'm talking about. So let me just hit y'all with them items just before I go, and then I'm going to hit you with another one this evening. This is one piece of crystal. It deals with frequency and vibration, increases it. This is another piece of crystal. Got these from Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, Maryland. Then I wait for the Lord to give me what I need in meditation and a constant awakening of how I stay involved. Then this particular individual is stated as being one of the individuals who directly connected with what they call the supreme being, without a doubt. It's like, it ain't even, and I ain't got to question it. Like, I done my work, right? So at the end of the day, this is the state. This is the statement. The statement is, who do you listen to? Do you listen to someone who never really did anything, never got done what they need to got done, and they selling CD, DVDs, and the whole nine, and these pamphlets right now, and they never did anything? Or do you deal with the individual who that did the work, that might have a manuscript or might have some data, so you can connect into that data? It's called thought transference. It puts you on another level. So anyway, I'm gonna get off right now, and I'll read a part of the book later. Have a wonderful day, everyone.